Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Tzav. Erev Shabbos, Shabbos Hagadol. Heads are already in Pesach. Hearts need to get there too. And I know it's late on a Friday, but better late than never. A small thought. We know that Galus Mitzrayim, according to many of our commentaries, was a tikkun. It was a way to fix. We call it a punishment, but punishments don't mean punishments. They mean ways that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is misakin, the way that he fixes mistakes that we've made. And the mistake of Avram Avinu of saying, B'ma'ida, how do I know Kirashana that this is going to happen? I'm going to get all of this which you're promising me in the land of Israel and the children. How do I know all this is going to happen? It's a way for us to be able to exercise and to learn Emunah. And reminds us, Mitzrayim reminded us how to be steadfast and to remain connected even in the face of all of the wickedness of Paro. The Seder night is not a history lesson. The Seder night is really a lesson in Emunah. It's a reminder of that kind of Emunah that ultimately we had, that we went through some stages where it became a little dicey, but that ultimately we had that Emunah and it became rebuilt inside of us to the extent that we were then able to be Zocheh to the Geula, we were able to be Zocheh to the redemption. But if that's the case, that Mitzrayim was really ultimately a tikkun, a way to fix that momentary lapse of Emunah through the question of B'ma'ida, we celebrated a little weird because we commemorate and celebrate it with questions. If a question got us into trouble in the first place, then what are we asking questions for? Then maybe there should be another format of the way that we celebrate and commemorate Pesach, and not the question and answer, because question and answers, that doesn't seem to work for us. And the whole night is based on questions and answers. Kana ben Shailas Av, here the son has to ask the father, and it has to be done that way. So maybe we're being taught an incredible thing. That Emunah does not mean that we don't have questions. Emunah means that we believe despite all the questions. It's not heretical to ask. It's only heretical to conclude, les din v'les dayon, that there is no judge, there's no judgment, there's no truth in this world. And look at how we're commanded to ask. Haben shoyles av. The child asks the tata. He asks the father. It's safe to ask the father. You're not going to be judged. You're not going to be put down. You're not going to be answered, hopefully, correctly. And you can raise your questions. And it's through the Father's love that those questions can be reconciled to the extent that we can live with those questions. Haki Yashinov, says the Hagadol. Haki Yashinov does not mean smack him in the mouth. Haki Yashinov means like a father dismantles his child. He's open to you. He can listen to you. Talk to him. Tell him what he needs to hear. V'yomarta. Say it to him. Say it to him with softness. Say it to him in a way that he'll be makabel and that he'll accept that living with a question is okay. You know, when the Torah presents the Rasha, it says, V'hayu ki yomru aleichem b'neichem. When your children say to you, it's in plural. Why is it one ki yishalcha bincha when your child asks you? Why is it said in plural? Because at the end of the day, you have to recognize that a vast majority of people have questions. Life is not pashut. Life is not simple. What we're watching now, it's a huge question. When we hear about people that are affected by all of these bombs, by the anti-Semitism, by the hatred that's going on in the world, there's questions abounding. Every one of us has questions. But at the end of the day, how you answer those questions is critical. And it's not how you intellectually answer those questions, but it's how you emotionally answer those questions to give him space and encouragement to be able to live with those questions. And you turn to the child and you say, if you were there, maybe if you would have had this kind of attitude, you wouldn't have gotten out. But you're not there. The Rebbeinu Shalom didn't give you that test. He put you in this world. And in this world, in this time, in this era, there's still hope for you. You can live with those questions. You know, if this child had asked questions of lost cause, the Torah wouldn't have spent so much time discussing him. That's what you have to tell that child. It's a good question. You're allowed to doubt, but live with that question. That's also okay. That's why this night, Peschim B'Gnai. We start with Gnai, we start with the negative, we start with the kashas. What's going on? We finish, conclude with praise and with song and with thanksgiving, with euphoria that you can live with questions. And when you teach that to your child, you've given him all the tools he needs to be able to make it through life and to live a growthful, happy, amazing life. It's okay to ask. It's okay to wonder. But just know you have the strength to keep moving on, keep moving forward. And L'Asid Lava in the future, every one of your questions is going to be answered. The truth is going to be known. Ani Yosef ha'od avichai. I am Joseph. Could my father still be alive? The truth was revealed to the brothers and they understood. That's what it's all about. That's what's going to happen to us in the future. It'll all be clear. Tisha B'Av becomes the Yontif. Our suffering becomes our joy. We recognize that this is all just a step in a stage in getting ourselves to the ultimate place, to that connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom and the Geula Shlema, which should come speedily and quickly in our days. A beautiful, amazing, uplifting Shabbos.